Welcome back. According to the National Institutes of Health, 1 in 5 Americans suffers from some form of arthritis, and many have chronic pain that limits their daily activity. Natural health care expert Dr. Mark Mincola is here to tell us how we can fight arthritis with food. Mark, you were saying, when we were talking a little bit, you were saying that something like a very large portion of Americans are going to see themselves suffering from arthritis in the years to come.
Elizabeth, that's absolutely true. There are experts now that suggest that by the year 2030, not too far away, as many as 40% of America could be struck with crippling arthritis.
And it seems like an astronomical number, but yet I'm sure that 10 or 20 years ago we didn't think we'd see diabetes the way we see it
Well,
today.
Absolutely true, and I think the key here is diet. I think we clearly know now that inflammation is the key to all these problems. We used to think inflammation just meant bursitis. You know, inflammation is really represents 72% of all disease, including arthritis. The key is diet. Diet produces inflammation.
Now, when we talk about arthritis, my first thought is just achy joints, but it's an inflammatory issue.
Well, it's not a single disease. It's actually a multiplicity of diseases or conditions that are marked by inflammation. And again, inflammation has this root core in biochemistry and diet.
Well, let's talk about some of the foods that you say can fight inflammation. I know we have a list of them here, and we'll go through each one of them. The first is fish and flax. Tell me about why that works.
Well, there's something we always know about the omega-3s as being anti-inflammatory. There's a fat in there that's a really anti-inflammatory fat called alpha-linolenic acid. So that's a really important good fat that's anti-inflammatory. Olive oil and berries, polyphenols. You know, the French paradox, everybody's familiar with the importance of the French paradox. Citrus and onions, bioflavonoids, really important anti-inflammatories. Carrots and yams, all those great orange foods. Carotenoids, which really are the polyphenols that give the great colors to our foods, the oranges, the reds, and the greens. Spices and teas, most folks are not aware of the fact that these spices and teas are very powerful anti-inflammatories. Things like ginger, things like rosemary. Turmeric, very powerful anti-inflammatories.
Turmeric is something that you'll see in Indian foods a lot
of times. Sure, curried rice and curried lentils, curried chicken dishes, absolutely.
I want to go back to this issue of the fish and flax for a moment, and the olive oil for that matter, because I was just talking to someone yesterday about the fact that we in America seem to be so frightened of fat because we think fat's going to make us fat.
Absolutely important issue here. There are good fats, there are bad fats, and this inflammatory issue is one of the key issues regarding fats. Important not to deprive your body of good fat because the anti-inflammatory processes are really boosted and enhanced by these good fats. Don't want to leave them out of the diet.
Now, why would it be that citrus and onions, but citrus in particular, would be anti-inflammatory? Because you would think, well, they're acidic. They just don't seem to fit with the rest of the items on this list.
Well, you know, again, it's the polyphenols. They're these really powerful bioflavonoids, polyphenols, these really important antioxidant agents that are very, very anti-inflammatory in really, for all intents and purposes, all fruits and vegetables.
I've heard of different supplements for, polyphenols or, from a red wine extract and that sort of thing. What kind of supplements do you recommend that can actually impact inflammation in the body?
Well, I like, there's something called Flexzyme and there's something called Zyflamend. And there are companies out there such as the Jarrow Formulas company, such as New Chapter, that are making these really great anti-inflammatories. They're really concentrates from these spices that we're talking about, from the gingerols, the rosmarinic acids, from the rosemary and the ginger. They've concentrated them in capsule form to really boost somebody who wants to enhance that diet. They're eating the anti-inflammatory diet. They want to give it one extra. These are supportive. I
got to let you go, but I'm curious about glucosamine and chondroitin because you see that on the market everywhere. Do you feel like that works?
You know, again, back to the very first Harvard study back in the mid-'80s, it said that 61% of the folks in that particular first study that used the glucosamine chondroitin had a positive anti-inflammatory effect. So, for osteo, yes, not so much rheumatoid. A lot of folks really do well with it.
A lot of great information. I know you have even more information on your website. If you're interested in finding out more, you can go to maxhealing.com. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.